jump on and talk to you guys about all of the fake protests that are happening in North America. And I say fake because they're not real. People aren't protesting stuff. Do you know how things are really protested in our world? The only way that a real protest takes place is when things change. Otherwise, it's just a lot of noise, right? The North America, Canada, United States, you guys are just a bunch of pansies when it comes to protesting. Look at what's going on in Nepal. You know why they are silencing it or not allowing the mainstream media to pick up what's going on in Nepal? Because they're actually really protesting. They broke into the president's palace. They tore the place apart. They torched his car. They stole his art. They took to the point where the president was airlifted out of his own palace. Now that's what you call a protest. The protests that are going on in North America and the big cities, they're just for fun. They're just for show. Come on. You're protesting on the main street. You're protesting in the park. Get it? Meaning, when you want to protest, let's say immigration, right? You don't like what the immigration minister is doing. You go to the immigration minister's house and you plant yourself out there, because the person has to go home and they have to hear you. But when you're leaving voicemails and emails and going on their social media, nothing's getting done. You're fake. You know you're fake. And in order to get things done, it's got to be for real, right? You can't fake chopping wood. You can't fake getting strong. You can't fake things like that. You can't fake health. And in North America, we have become masters at faking things. Instagram, Facebook, you can show people that you're rich. You can show people that you're successful, but are you? Are you really? When you look at yourself in the mirror, behind all the makeup, behind all the Botox, behind all the clothes that somebody else made, and you want to tell people that you're rich. It's all fake, man. It's all show. The protests that are going on in the world that are actually making a difference, who are actually changing the way people think and do and believe, the reason that they don't televise that on the mainstream media is protests are contagious. When somebody sees a group of people coming out of oppression, it becomes contagious. When people see things changing, it becomes contagious. I want you to really understand that change is so easy, but yet very few people understand the concept of it. And on this podcast, I really wanted to share with you what it actually is. If you had a dark room and you wanted to make 100% difference, the only thing that you would have to do is get off your ass, go to the light switch and turn it on. Boom, 100% different, 100%, right? Lights come on, the room now becomes illuminated. And all it took was for you to get up, walk to the switch, and boom, 100% change. But if you got up and sat right back down, nothing would change. And that's what these protests that are in the major centers, people flying their flags. Why don't you go to the people's houses, park your ass right on their lawn and say, I want change. And then the next day, 10 other people would come. The next day, 100 people would come. And the next thing you know, that person that was in charge resigns because they say, I don't know how to do the change. And this is where they've got you. They want you in that perpetual cycle of, oh, I'm making a difference, but I don't want to do any of the work. The reason I have this podcast, the reason I talk to you people on the internet, is because I live in the middle of nowhere, right? I live in the middle of nowhere. 40 acres is what I live on. And I'm not here to brag about it. I'm here to tell you that if you want change, if you really want to do things, you have to inspire people to what is possible. The possibility of things is what you should live in. The mainstream media, what they do is they only focus on the police. They only focus on the arrests. They don't show you the possibility of what's going on. How you doing, guys? Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe because it helps the channel. What I want, this is the most important part, is that you have a bunch of people that want the change, but they just want to go through the motions. They don't know how to actively protest. And the way you actively protest is you shut down the highways. You shut down the railway systems. You shut down the ports. You shut down the minister of whoever is in charge. You shut down their house. This is the kind of protest we need. Not the protest of going out into the major centers, holding that stupid fucking flag and saying, oh, I'm an American or I'm a Canadian, free speech. Nobody cares. You're singing to each other. And the people, the powers that be, the people that can change everything, they're sitting in their fucking mansion with that noise drowned out, listening to their Bang & Olufsen radio that is so crystal clear that they can't hear you. Their concrete doesn't even let the noise come in. And if you have protests like this that go to 4, 5, 6 different places, you won't have enough police officers to calm everybody down. But when everybody protests in one place, they can bring the horses, they can bring the guards, they can bring the water cannons. But if you stretch their resources thin, they can't do a damn thing. And I'm here to tell you, I was a strategist for 22 years of my life, okay? And all I got paid for was to figure shit out. And so when I say to you, this is how you do it, you have to exploit the resources that are limited to them, okay? And when I mean exploit them, is that if you're in one place and they throw a bomb into one place, everybody dies. But if you're in 10 different places, they need 10 bombs. They need 10 platoons. They need 50 men. It changes the game. But unfortunately, they don't let you understand what the game is. And the game is to waste resources. That's the key. And when you waste resources, they run out. Because there's more people than there are resources. There's more people than there are jail cells. There's more people than there are handcuffs. Do you understand where I'm going with this? And when the protests are going on and you have 500,000 people marching in solidarity, that's great. That's great. I'm not saying that that's bad, because it takes a lot to bring that many people together. But the fact of the matter is if you took those same 500,000 people and you branch them off into 50 different groups, now you've got some action. Close the ports, close the highways, close the railways, close the grocery stores, you know what I'm talking about. I want people to understand that the powers that be, the elite, the ruling class, they are expecting you to play the small game. And that small game never got anywhere. It just got you into the same place. That small game made you vote for 2 different... Hello, sir. Float plane going by. That ruling class, they've got 2 political parties for you to choose from. I thought that there was free speech. I thought there was freedom of choice. You have more choice in the cracker aisle of your grocery store than you do of political party. You have more genders than you do political parties. Isn't anybody upset about this? Aren't you fucking outraged that as a human being that has the ability to see 16 million colors, that you are happy with a black and white television? I want to tell you guys that there is a big shift that's going on. And the shift that's happening is that they're going to block the internet. They're going to shut it down. They're going to limit your use of the internet. And I'll give you an example. When the protests happened in Egypt, or when the protests happened in Nepal just recently, what was the first thing that they did? They shut down the internet. They shut it down. Why? Because they didn't want the world to know that there was so much turmoil in their country. And they are going to do that in North America. Just mark my words. I'm telling you this today, September, I don't know what it is, 13th or something. They're going to shut your internet down. They don't want to shut down the internet until they bring the central digital bank currency. And when they do that, they're not only going to shut your freedom of speech, but they're going to shut down your freedom of access to your own money. And when that happens, my friends, you're going to see a shitload of people that are upset. But by then it's too late, right? I guarantee that there's people in my chat room right now, 9 people. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you subscribe because I need the numbers. I always ask for things that I need. And for some reason, the good Lord always provides. But what I want to say is that you need to, there's the 10 people that are in this room right now, I bet you don't know 10 people's phone numbers off by heart. I bet you don't. And the reason being is they've trained us this way. They trained us this way so that we rely on technology. We rely on the phone in your hand for everything, to tell the time, to tell the weather, to tell your stock report, to tell you what the price of cat litter is at Canadian Tire, all that, right? They've got you chained to this machine. And what they're going to do is, if they shut it off, you're screwed. You're screwed. You don't know anybody's phone number. And this is why I always on my channel, I'm telling you, suggesting to you, motivating you, encouraging you to find your tribe. And by tribe, I mean people with like minds that want to better themselves. You got to have a place where you can bug in or bug out, right? I bet you don't have that dialed in. When they realize, when the ruling class realize that everybody is hooked to this machine, they're going to shut the machine off. They've done it in the past. See, they don't tell, everybody thinks right now that there's a world war going on with bombs and missiles and guns and ammo and stuff like that. It's not. The war that's going on right now is who gets to control your attention. Who's controlling your attention? Is Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it TikTok? Whatever is taking your attention, that's the war. That's what they want to win. They want to win the eyeballs of you so that they get that energy. I want you to realize that it is coming in the near future. It's because the internet, I was around when the internet first came out in 1999, 2000 is when I first started getting involved in it. And I can tell you from when we started the internet, where we could exchange information, download music, and have it on our hard drive. And, you know, we had MSN, we had Messenger, we had ICQ. People were really communicating back then, man. They were exchanging information. But today, The internet is just nothing but a big advertising bulletin. That's all it is. They just want to sell you shit. You can't even search anything today without 3 advertisements coming up trying to sell you what you're looking for. I was looking for transmission lines the other day, and there was 10 different brokers that were saying, hey, buy your transmission lines from us. I just wanted to know how to change it. I wanted to know who else had done this, but instead I got served the parts that I needed. I understand that I needed those parts, don't get me wrong, and that was very helpful. But I was more interested in, has anybody else done it? Is it a hard job? Am I able to do it? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to repeat, I live in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's coming to save me, man. I am all about information. I want info. I don't need to know where to buy the part. I can buy it from Amazon. They'll deliver it right to my house. It's hard for me to share things like this with you guys because I'm 54 years old. I don't have any debt, and I have a really solid tribe, and I hope you do too, because the tribes that you have are the ones that are going to help you in the future when they turn everything off. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll keep you updated on what's going on. And I really want people to be successful, because successful people want other people to be successful. The people who are unsuccessful want to pretend that they're successful, right? The people who pretend to be successful are the ones that are wearing all the designer clothes and driving a car they can't afford, living in a house that they can't make the payments on. The people who are rich, the people who are wealthy in time, in spirit, and they're able to help one another. A person who's able to help another person is rich. That's where wealth comes in. And the more people that you have helping one another, the more they help each other become wealthy. I hope that these talks, these podcasts really resonate with people, because I want people to understand that it's hard at the beginning, but once you learn the mechanics of it, you'll notice that it's a beautiful, easy life. And you don't need a lot of things to be happy. You just need freedom of choosing when and who and how you work. Because if you don't have the freedom of the 8 hours of work that you do for other people, you're just a slave. And you got to get out of that. I really want to thank you guys for joining me this morning. And I really appreciate everything, all the support. Please share, subscribe, and like, because more people need to know that the journey, it's fucking worth it. And when you're protesting, protest for real. Don't go in the major streets and hold the stupid banner and be with the other people, be with your friends. If you want to protest, protest for real. Protesting is about shutting down things that don't serve us. It's not about looking good. It's not about who has the best flag. It's all about who has the best strategy. And that strategy, yeah, you figure that out. And once you figure it out, share it. I love you guys. See you on the next one.